let's try to make this video without me getting distracted. I want to do another one of these childhood fan video story things, so let's start off with our YMCA, at least for tonight. My local YMCA, I've been going to it for a long time. They have had many fans. I've made references to that place a few times. I have mostly made a lot of references to the Wind Machine fans that they've had, and the SMC stand fans and the GE box fan, and I've actually referenced the GE box fan a lot. And I don't think I referenced the Water Shield box fan, but they had one of those too. We'll just start off with the first ones I don't even know what the first one was I ever saw. We'll just go with the most important one, the GE box fan. So back in the day when the gym used to actually be in the back of the YMCA, there used to be this old square corner GE box, and it was white. It had the, ooh, that's cool. It had the switch on the side of the cabinet. It was free speed. It said GE free speed on the badge. The badge was kind of off center. It ran pretty good actually, and I think it still does. But yeah, it works, I guess. The cord on it was really old. It was a really long cord, but it was like an old thin cord. I don't even have. Oh, here's one. The end would have been something like this. It looked like this. I could have probably easily like put my thumbs along here and like been like, ah. I could have probably shocked myself. I actually never plugged or unplugged it until like I became older and I actually found the fan again. But yeah. So that one was pretty cool. It didn't have a startup sound. I don't think it does. When I was young, I found a pencil, and I colored on the blade hub. I stuck the pencil through the metal grill and started making pencil markings on the blade hub. And if I ever make videos of that fan, you'll see it's still there. The lady at the front desk thought it was pretty. I kind of did too. So I actually didn't get in trouble, and I thought I was going to. Lady from the front desk came up to me and asked me what I was doing, and she knew I liked fans. She understood. She never actually got mad at me for doing that, and it's still like that till this day. So that's pretty cool. The other fan was one of the 4 SMC fans that they had. They're just your basic SMC stand fan. They have 3 of one style and then 1 of a different style. I think this one was different. One of them had a rotary knob in the center instead of an actual speed push button control. I think it was actually 4 speeds, not 3. I'm not sure if it was like 4 speeds instead of 3. I feel like it had an extra speed or two extra speeds or something. I'm not sure, but I can't remember because that's the one they don't have anymore. But this one used to stay out in the lobby. Back in the back part of the lobby, they have like a TV and a Wii, which has been replaced with a Nintendo Switch recently. They had some toys. They had pile Legos, and right next to it is where they had the vending machinery, all that kind. They used to have a claw machine back in the day, just to play that when SMC was still there. But they had that in that little lounge. So you have this tall ceiling where the 4 can-arm industrials are. The orange lines is what they're called. That I filmed a while back on my Instagram. On the other side of it's where the SMCs are at. So that's pretty cool. So they were just there. They weren't really that important. They were just there. So, yeah. That one was there. I don't think I've really ever seen it on. I played around with it. It had an issue where it would not oscillate. I would turn on the oscillator. It would oscillate. And then it would just randomly stop oscillating and start ticking. Making a weird ticking noise. So I never found out what was wrong with that. Eventually, when I got a little bit older, about a few years later, I was messing around with it again, and I decided to just hold the whole cage guard thing in place so it was oscillating. I heard a loud snap from behind the fan, and then the oscillator knob started to spin really fast, like faster than it normally should. And the fan actually seemed like it sped up a bit, like if it was in stationary mode. And that's when I realized, Oh crap, I ruined the oscillator. Not saying that the oscillator was working before, it was already broken. So that was pretty cool, I guess. I definitely learned stuff. I'm not going to hold a fan in place while it's oscillating. I've done it once to my modern SMC, but I've not done it to another older fan because I'm afraid of that happening. But yeah, I held that thing in place while it oscillated. I think the oscillator knob probably snapped in half, or the little piece on the edge of the neck snapped off, or maybe the whole gear assembly. I'm not even sure if it had the gear drive oscillator. I think this one was from the early 2000s, like the same one as the one I just recently got. I know it had gray blades. The knob on it was white, but the numbers on it were gray. I think this is the 4-speed model. It wasn't 3-speed. I think it was 4-speed, or maybe even 5-speed. I'm not sure what it was all about, but I think it was a special model. I don't know. The other ones are just your ordinary run-of-the-mill 90s SMCs. I think this one I just talked about in the early 2000s. These ones are boring. I never really had much. These ones I never really got up close and personal to before. Of course, I got up to them, I turned them on, and all that kind. That's better. I had to blow my nose. I don't know what that was all about. So these other ones, yeah, these were in the cycling room. They have like those spinning bikes. I think that's what they're called. There was 2 of them in there. The other one was in the back, like playroom area. So that's where those ones were at. Eventually, later on in the spinning room, eventually like around now, they replaced the SMCs with Comfort Zone stand fans, which they're just rebranded, I don't even know. They're rebranded House to Home. They're pieces of junk. I hate them. The Y actually hates them because they've had complaints from the people that take the spinning classes saying they don't move as much air as the old fans. They actually brought I don't know where this fan came from, but they brought a 18-inch Polar Wind high velocity fan, which actually does move a good bit of air. It's pretty quiet too. The motor on it honestly looks like one of the small tuna can Lakewood motors. I was actually about to get into that one, but they brought that one, and then for the cyclist itself, they have a little Room Essentials high velocity fans, like a 9-inch one. That one's been there for years. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The other SMC fans, they move. There's a one child's room, like a child's playroom, like a daycare room, that had the one SMC fan in it. This one was a little bit different. The front badge in the center, where it had the big like front badge that said SMC, that one was missing. And someone wrote all over the control panel saying that they owned that fan or whatever. That fan got moved. They put a Hawaiian Breeze tower fan in there. Which actually I've not gotten a chance to get up and close to that fan, but I heard that they said they really like it. The reason why they put that one in there so the SMCs, they were afraid that kids were going to stick their fingers in it. So the other SMC fan, that went to a office, actually, and it's still there till this day. That one I got a chance to take apart and fix the recall on it. That one almost literally caught on fire. There were the wire, the thing that was around the wire that rubbed against the motor that was kind of bare, and you could see the free wires in it, and when the red wire was literally almost showing, so I brought some electrical tape in that day, and I taped up that one and the 2 other ones. They're still working. That one doesn't oscillate. It used to oscillate full time. The other ones I don't think ever did. I don't think they liked the fans oscillating in the spinning room. So in the other 2, they got moved to the basement where they do like karate or karate, if you like to call it, if you're not that exciting. They used to just have they used to have 2 Lasko weather shields down there. One of them decided to someone like dropped something on it. The whole front grill broke off. They gave me that fan. So if you've seen my orange Toastmaster box fan, the motor and a blade from that one came from that fan. Everything else I trashed. I still have the handle for it somewhere. It was one of those gray ones with the logo on the center of it that was round, and it had like the picture of the rain and the puddles and all of that kind. It was like the early 2000s weather shields, the ones that look really cool. Well, I think it was late 2000s. The ones right before 2010. They didn't make those models for really long, that's all I know. They had 2 of them. One of them's still there, and the other one, I don't know whatever happened to it. So, oh yeah, Darn, I got that one. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any parts from it except for the handle. All the other stuff went on Toastmaster, but that's at my friend's house now because I'm lending him that fan for the summer. But the two other SMCs are down there. The other one actually gets oscillated between that room and an upstairs depending on the season. If it's summer, they bring it up. If it's winter, they bring that downstairs. There's a aerobic studio right next to that room. And there's a big TPI wall fan that's been there forever. They put that one in there a while ago. Apparently they added it. It was an original. And they had a big HV fan in there, in the wind machine. The wind machine got dirty and they moved it to the gym. So they brought in a Extreme Garage high velocity fan, brand new. And I never really liked that one that much. I kind of hated it. But they brought that one in. And then they had a early 2000s Lasko Cool Colors, which looks like the modern day Cool Colors, but has the big Lasko logo and it has the wavy K on it. And the models before that, pretty much a free 733, but with the case painted blue and the blades painted blue. But it's not that kind. It's later. It's after that. And the logo is rounded like the free 733. It's not the circular one. So, yeah, it has that kind, which is pretty cool, I guess. There's also a little, like, miniature Holmes fan in an office that's next to there, around there. And that's been there forever. I don't think I've ever seen that one on. It's there. In the boys' changing room, locker room area, there's a patent mounted to the wall from the early 2000s. That one still works. That's one I want to make a video of. Oh yeah, and a GE box fan got moved to the aerobics studio. The aerobics director wrote their name all over it, so they claimed it as theirs. And that fan was lost for about 3 years, good 3 to 5 years, probably 5 years actually. I was really happy because I was walking in the other room next to it, the one room when I was going to like clean stuff, like cleaning fans and something. I looked into the aerobic studio and I see what appears to be a square cornered box fan sitting behind the door. I thought it was an 80s Lasko, a lot like my Eastern. I actually went. I got. It looked like it had metal grills, and I went in there and it was a GE. I was like, I think that was the face I had, literally. I was kind of blown away. I was shocked to see that they still had this fan. I thought it got thrown away or someone took it. That's pretty interesting. Now there's another spot in the basement of the YMCA, which is like a big playroom. They had one boxing down there. It was a Lasko free 733. Last year someone brought in a Honeywell stand fan, like a modern one. It's not like a quiet set or anything. It's just a free speed on and off Honeywell. So that's there. And yeah, I think that's almost all of them. I'm not sure if I mentioned a little small homes portable fan. They have a little Honeywell HV fan up by the front desk. That's not Honeywell. A little Comfort Zone HV fan that they brought up by the front desk. That's the one I forgot to mention. That one sucks. And then they have another wind machine that was always in the gym that was crazy dirty. And then they also had a Lasko Cyclone, which they recently thrown away because it quit working. I tried to fix it, but the thermal fuse is bad, so it got trashed. But yeah, that's all the fans at my YMCA. Hopefully you enjoyed.